Well, we finally did it. We bought a pontoon boat. Oh yeah, first time on the pontoon boat. Drives like a Cadillac. Welcome back to another episode of The Real Lazy, a budget restoration pontoon video series that we're kind of in the middle of. So I finally got the wood laying up here at the moment, about ready to put it on. This is regular treated plywood. As I've said in the past, this is a budget restoration, and if I were to use marine treated plywood and luxury vinyl, it would have cost over $1,000. It's really hard to spend that kind of money on a boat that you paid almost $3,000 for, and it might only be worth about $4,000 when you're done. So I'm trying to keep it at about $1,000 to restore this boat, on top of what I paid for it, of course. So what I did with the treated plywood, it's not the greatest. Some of the voids I have filled with thickened epoxy here. I sealed the edges with epoxy. I painted underneath with Thompson water seal. Maybe that'll give me a little more. I'm not a big fan of Thompson's water seal, but for this application I think it'll help it out. We've got our bag of elevator bolts, stainless steel from good old Pontoon stuff. They are the bomb. Had to put in a little plug for them. They do not give me anything. I had to buy this full price. So this is not an ad, but I gotta give them a good shout out. So what we're gonna do is we are going to line up the rear piece of plywood on our rail here. I've got about 1.5 inches on top of the rail here, so I need to split this into about 3/4, butt these things up together. In between, I need to drill through and then put our elevator bolts in. Actually, before we put the elevator bolts in, what we're going to do, we're going to use a spade bit to kind of give me a little bit of relief, because these do stand up. These do stand up quite a bit on the deck here, so we're going to relief those in to make them a little flatter into the wood here. So all right, we're gonna get started on this. Time for some good old-fashioned time-lapse video. That's my favorite. Well, we're right about in the middle of this here. We have got the plywood deck down. I have sanded it after I filled some of the voids with epoxy. I think we can see one up there, one's over there. So I sanded off the high spots a little bit to give us a little more adhesion. And this is the new flooring. It feels pretty good. I like it. We will just see about the durability of it. That's the only thing I'm scared of. But like I said, we've been doing this whole floor for $350, right thereabouts. So if I get 5 years out of it, I'm happy. So this is good old Amazon special stuff right here. Like I said, we'll see about the durability of it. One of the things I noticed when I was unraveling the rolls was it says that it's used 3M glue on the back side of this. And they give you these little strips that are in the roll. When you unroll them, you pull these strips out. And yes, they say 3M on them, but they also say double coated tissue tape. So I have a feeling they just throw these 3M pieces of paper in there to make it look like it's 3M glue. I mean, what can you say? This is cheap stuff. We'll see how long it lasts. What I'm thinking of doing is on the edges and on the seams, I'm going to use probably some spray adhesive. I got some contact cement I might use on these edges to keep them down a little bit. Hopefully that will keep everything down. I'm installing this in cooler weather. Some of the reviews I saw that say install this in cooler weather, because if you install it in hot weather, once the cooler weather comes, it will contract a little bit. So it's probably about 65 out here, so it should be pretty good. We will see how durable this stuff is. But like I said, we're doing this whole floor for $350. So I've got a couple other things. These actually come in 94.5 inch sheets, which kind of sucks because most of your pontoon floors are either 8 foot or 8.5 foot across, and these aren't going to reach that across, at least. I mean, yes, I could go this way, but I want the least amount of seams as possible. If I do it this way, I get probably 3 seams instead of going this way with 3 seams, and then I'm going to have other seams this way. I think I'm going to get the best durability out of laying it this way. The only thing is, it's 94.5 inches, so I'm going back and forth with putting it under my deck rail here. It only fits about this much under the deck rail, and it makes it crooked, and I don't like that. I'm sitting here going back and forth on whether I should just cut it to the edge and lay it down, or I don't know. I got to think about this for a second. We have a little friend. All right, so we're gonna get this laid down a little bit. I gotta decide on a few things here, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go this way. Least amount of seams. All right, wish us luck.
Gnawed at my soul. I worked hard, made my fortune, but lost the love of my darling. She grew weary, and her love soon grew cold. It's a long, long way to the top of the world on a rough road that winds round reach the top of the world. But my heart dropped at bottom. No, you can't make love to fortune and fame. Yes, it's a long, long way to the top of the world on a rough road that winds round and round. It's a long, long way to the top of the world, but it's only a short fall back down. It's a long, long way to the top of the world, but it's only a short fall back down.
Well, it turned into night all of a sudden. We got the flooring down. Looks pretty good. Got a couple little waves in the middle there, but we've been going back and forth rolling it over with my trusty CO2 tank up there that I use for paintball. So hopefully that was heavy enough to lay this down. I was able to get the sides down. Used a little contact cement on the side here. Of course I had to go with the 2 inches of wood here because the rail that fits over here actually fits right on the 3/4 inch plywood. A little bit of carpet maybe, but it did not accept the 6mm EVA vinyl foam here. It definitely did not want to fit on there at all, so ended up having to go with the 2 inches, and the rail's going to go right along here. Yeah, so looks pretty good. Me and the wife got it down, and I'm just hoping that lasts a little while. So I guess next we're talking about getting the rails on, the fences on. I've got the console done. So actually, I think I will have already posted that in a previous video. It's really hard with doing these videos because you do several different things at once, and sometimes you can't keep track of, well, did I talk about this at one time? Well, I might have went over this one again at one time, but anyway, we got this down. So the next video, we're going to start putting everything back on it. I need to drill some holes for the steering cables and throttle cables and electric. So we'll get to measure all that out. But I think it's going to look pretty good for a budget restoration. Thank you for watching.
We just unscrewed a bolt or something.
Whoa, the fish finder just showed up.